personal and professional growth. This has to do with teachers, but it applies to any job, any area, any endeavor. Teachers are the most significant variable in determining the quality of education children receive. Therefore, hence, thus, heretofore, whatever, one of the most effective ways to improve education is to invest in the growth of teachers on both a professional and personal level. Let me give you a clue in case you have one. Simply more top-down mandates does nothing to improve the way we educate children and or the quality of education. More tests does absolutely nothing to improve the quality of education. The only way to really improve education in a significant way is to invest in teachers. They are the most significant variable. And that's not just Andy, that's a whole bunch of studies. But we don't want a little knowledge to get in the way, do we? Professional and personal growth. There is integration between the internal and the external. Integration between these two areas. Integrity and integration comes from the same word. An integration of one's values and philosophy with what one does. Thus, development on the personal level and on the professional level are like parallel lines. They always merge at the horizon. There is development as a teacher and development as a person. When you develop the person, you're able to use that instrument. You're more intuitive, you're more empathetic. The teacher and learner, when you are teaching at your highest level, the teacher and the learner are one. That you are learning from your students. And not learning like more knowledge, but learning other things at higher and higher levels. And I'm not going to explain that one more. That one is up to you to kind of touch that one. Maybe you're in the classroom sometime, you're reaching one of those peak experiences, and you go, oh, that's what Andy meant. The teacher and the learner are one. Integration, as I said, there is an integration of one's philosophy and one's actions. And we're going to identify a teaching philosophy in the next video. But to teach with integrity is to teach from your philosophy. And by the way, when you are teaching from your philosophy, you can never be wrong. When you are acting from your philosophy, you can never be wrong. So, professional growth. We know that experts have more of it and novices have less of it, so we want you to have more knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Expert teachers have 4 kinds. Knowledge of your content area. Pedagogical knowledge, knowledge of strategies. Pedagogical content knowledge, strategies as far as how to teach your particular content area. How to teach music, how to teach science, how to teach math. And knowledge of learners and learning theory, educational psychology. And here's the thing. The more you know, the more you realize what you don't know. The more you learn, the more you see what there is to learn. I've been in this business for almost 30 years. And when I first started teaching, I thought I had all the answers. But, oh, the naivety of youth. But now, as I have grown, I see that I am just scratching the surface of what there is to learn. So, some strategies for your professional growth. Think about the ones that are most appropriate, because you will be picking one. Create a systematic plan for reading. That is, have a subject area or a series of authors. It's too easy to get disrupted, grow ferns, say, oh, this book, that book, that book. Have a systematic plan so you can develop expertise in a particular area. And here's the nice thing. You find a book that you love, and I'm reading right now about teacher leadership and empowering teachers and leadership things. You get excited, you look in the reference section, and you get more books and more tips for what to read. So reading begets more reading. Subscribe to a professional journal in your area. You get to see what the experts are saying in your area and what's new in your area. The same with attending a conference or professional workshop. You get to see what the newest research or application is, what the newest ideas, and you get to connect with others. Engage in professional conversations or book clubs with your colleagues. Just good informal conversations, but structured conversations as well. We'd like to have a book talk about something or a conversation about what you are doing in this area. Listen to and learn from the students you are working with. This could be a formal action research project, or it could be that thing that I'm going to learn from my students. I learn as a college professor when I sit down, I do writing activities, kind of short prompts, but then I do one for myself. I sit in with my students and learn a lot from them. Getting and giving feedback to your peers. Sit in, observe, give feedback, get feedback. I know it's uncomfortable at first, but the more you do this, the better, the easier it becomes. And you see there's no such thing as the perfect lesson or the perfect teacher. The only way to get better is to have someone, eyes from the outside, look at you and give you ideas. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Teacher isolation is a problem. One way to start is to get and give feedback to yourself. I recommend an audio recorder. They're small, they cost about $30. You get just as much from an audio recording, I find, as a video recording, and they are not as disruptive. Conduct a formalized action research project, and that is where you start with a question and you have a systematic method set up to collect data. Engage in deep reflection. This is where you have a window, where you have no agenda, you let your mind wander. Sometimes walking the dog is good. Sometimes if you're doing something repetitive, but just a place where you let your mind go where it might and think of the issues of the day and allow these issues to come to mind. And sometimes it's good to take a graduate course or enroll in a graduate program. This enables you to be guided by a knowledgeable other and to have interaction with college classmates. All right, to write and share. Which two strategies seem the most appropriate for you? Identify areas of interest and your plan for obtaining more knowledge. And what areas of your teaching practice would you like to improve? These are big questions. Think about these. Stop the tape now so that you can think, write, and share. Okay, we're going to talk about personal growth in the second part of this. Maria Montessori said the best preparation for teaching is preparing the self. So think about this. How do you prepare the self? How do you grow the self? How do you become a better human being? These questions are above my pay grade, and I have answers. I have the answers for these for myself, but you have to find your own gosh darn answer. However, I'm going to throw some ideas out at you. Maslow said that within each person, there is an innate will toward growth in realizing our full potential. We naturally want to grow and to progress at the highest levels. Self-actualization is reaching our full potential, discovering our strengths, our passions, our talents to self-actualize. Growth can be facilitated by deliberately focusing on the upper levels of Maslow's hierarchy. Now, these are the lower levels, and we are motivated by deficiency when we think we have a lack of something here, and we need to get more of it. I'm acting because I need more esteem. I think I don't have enough of it, or I don't have enough love or safety or physical needs, all right? If you are acting here, based on here, that's deficiency motivation. Higher levels are you're acting, you're motivated because you're curious, you want to know, you want to create beauty, balance. You are looking for personal growth, self-fulfillment, who you are as a person, or to help others. To grow, it is facilitated by focusing on these top four. It's called being motivated because you're motivated simply to be all you can be, or to be in your fullest potential. These are growth needs and these are deficiency needs. So personal growth is enhanced by seeking to help others, discovering what is your strength, your interest, your weakness, your special talents, creating and expressing yourself through dance, through art. Maybe you create something in a shop, but you're creating, you're expressing. Don't always think the arts when you think create. Or being curious and setting up a plan or a path for learning. Think about, here's a big question, what is the purpose of education in our society? To learn, but to what end? Is it to help each person self-actualize, help each person develop his or her full potential, develop better human beings, or create worker bees for the great economic beehive? Think about those because we have a writing activity. What is the purpose of school in our society? These questions do not get asked enough. These are the basis for everything we do in our school, everything you do in your classroom. What is your purpose? Yes, my purpose is to teach, but to what end? What is your highest purpose? Think about that. My mission as a teacher, my purpose as a teacher. And then looking at the higher levels of Maslow's hierarchy, not hierarchy, what is a personal growth activity that you might engage in? And we'll just go back. Which one of these might you engage in? All right, stop the tape here, and it is the end, so you have no choice, and you'll be writing and sharing with others in your group.